Welcome to the Discussions in Body Art podcast. Studio owners, regulators, and other stakeholders in body art safety are welcome. I'm John Johnson, your host. Most content, including blog posts, are on Patreon, and the webpage can be found at newflowerstudio.com, where you'll find some surveys that I'd love for you to fill out. Thanks for listening, reading, or watching. I hope you subscribe. Hey, thanks for checking out this session. If you've not seen it already, there's an Instagram page for Discussions in Body Art. I invite you to give it a follow. If you're wondering why it took 32 months to create any social media for this production, it's because I've been taking it really slow with promotions and focusing on developing a flow and style for my content as the priority. I'd rather be steady and grounded before a lot of people learn about discussions in body art, so when they do discover it, it already seems well established so they can have confidence in the product. It only now felt like I was ready to have a public-facing social media account, and Instagram is my platform of choice. I'm pretty happy with the page. There's a post for each session I've created, and each image has a legend identifying which formats, blog, audio, or video they're available in. Even if you're not interested in following the account, I suggest looking at the other accounts that I follow. You'll find a lot of great resources there that you may learn a lot from. This Discussions in Body Art session is focused on the Biohazard Symbol. It's a crossover with the topics of communications and universal precautions and training. Like many of the Discussions in Body Art sessions, it's inspired by real-life experiences that I've had. If you're a body art practitioner, you've almost certainly seen other practitioners and even health inspectors disregard biohazard symbols or fail to interpret them properly. That could also be you. Not following the intent of a biohazard symbol is a hazard that can lead to unnecessary risk, and I want to offer clarity on how this works in our body art environment. I too have seen my fair share of practitioners ignore biohazard symbols, either out of ignorance or blatant disregard. But I've also, multiple times in my career, seen health inspectors do the same, which is really disappointing since they're the authority during an inspection. Placing their clipboard or papers on a counter, which is clearly the dirty zone of a decontamination or sterilization room, and opening drawers and cabinets with their bare hands, also labeled with biohazard symbols, sends them back to the office or to their families at home, potentially cross-contaminated, after not grasping the severity of what that symbol stands for. While I don't know of any data that indicates negative health outcomes because of these occasions, it is an irrefutable lack of understanding of cross-contamination. The actual inspiration for this session is having witnessed a practitioner move a couple things around with their bare hands in a clearly labeled dirty area. It didn't register at all they needed to wear gloves, so I felt I should address it here. Just so you know, the symbol was developed in the 1960s by an environmental health engineer and the National Institute of Health. It was adopted by the CDC in the 1960s, then designated as a global standard by ISO in 1986. It's designed to be easily recognized and remembered. Symmetrical, so it's readable no matter how it's oriented or when it's on an uneven or moving surface. ISO uses yellow as the color for caution, so outside of the US, biohazard symbols are often yellow. In the US, OSHA's bloodborne pathogen standard requires them to be predominantly red or orange. When placed somewhere, it's intended to communicate that this area, these surfaces, and that equipment have a reasonably anticipated exposure to blood or OPIM, other potentially infectious materials. It communicates that workers must utilize work practice controls, which is the method of performing a task safely, such as taking steps to minimize splash when scrubbing instruments, for example, and wearing personal protective equipment, PPE, when performing tasks in an area labeled with the biohazard symbol. When you see it, that's how you're expected to respond. For anyone working in an area labeled biohazard, these concepts, work practice controls, and PPE should be as instinctual as stopping at a red light or a stop sign. You shouldn't have to think about it. You'll generally find these labels in areas where reusable body art instruments are stored after being used. The sharps container will have one printed on it by the manufacturer. Anything that's been used in the performance of a body art procedure is considered contaminated when we apply the concept of universal precautions. So the symbol should be wherever we need to alert people of possible exposure to blood or OPIM. Again, once used instruments are considered contaminated, they get scrubbed manually, but are still considered contaminated. After a cycle in an ultrasonic cleaner, they're still considered contaminated. After rinsing, they're set out to dry, still contaminated. So the presence of biohazard symbols in an area like the wall, shelves, or equipment communicates that caution must be used and PPE worn. It makes sense to label an ultrasonic cleaning machine with a biohazard symbol if that machine is used for the mechanical cleaning of reusable instruments. For health inspectors reading, listening, or watching, an old school body piercing practice is to have a dedicated clean ultrasonic machine reserved only for the cleaning of new jewelry. Back in the day, body jewelry arrived from the manufacturer, sometimes with polishing compounds or other material like oil in the little nooks and crannies of the jewelry. We could take a tissue and wipe it off and see little smudges and streaks on it. Now, don't forget to look up Discussions in Body Art on Instagram. At the time of this recording, it's brand new without any followers. This is the halfway point of this session and the end of this free version. I invite you to subscribe on Patreon and hear or watch the rest. Most Discussions in Body Art content, including free blogs, are on Patreon, and surveys are at newflowerstudio.com. Thanks for your interest in safe body art.